I'm Jim Adler, the tough, smart lawyer. I want to speak to family members or loved ones of offshore workers who were killed or died more than 3 nautical miles from shore. The federal law, or the Death on the High Seas Act, says you can't be paid for mental anguish or pain and suffering that you suffered due to the death of a loved one. All you can get are lost wages of that deceased loved one. That's just not fair, but that's what the Death on the High Seas Act says. This is an old law that needs to be changed. But there is a law that says you get lost wages and money for pain and suffering if you were hurt, injured, or incapacitated working on a floating vessel such as a ship, offshore rig, or supply boat. How does that make any sense? How is it that it's bad news for the survivors of the Deepwater Horizon disaster that killed 11 workers last year, and they get nothing for their mental anguish or their pain and suffering or their loss of companionship? But on the other hand, there is a law that says you get lost wages and money for pain and suffering if you were hurt working on a vessel. It's called the Jones Act. Call me right now, because a good Jones Act lawyer knows the ins and outs, and a good Jones Act lawyer like me can get you what you deserve. Call me now, 1-800-683-8383. Remember, I can't help you till you call me. Jim Adler, 1-800-683-8383.